Hello all. Uh, I'm Dr. Mark and I'm a Twitch streamer and I just started streaming on Twitch. I'm going to start a YouTube series here on space engineers tutorials on how to make functional, useful devices for newer players. I've played quite a bit of space engineers, so let's start it out. This one is for a locking pad for grinders so that you can use a grinding ship to grind your ship down instead of trying to make some super grinding platform. This is mostly for survival mode too, because in survival mode you're not going to have enough resources to build a 60-70 grinder table to take out a ship, and especially if you get larger ships like right here I've got blue 2. If you get larger ships like that, it's going to be difficult to set up. Let's get a new station. Now what I'm going to be making here is a grinding table that does not need power, so you can put it anywhere you want. And I am in creative mode right now, so I don't have to actually build it. There we go. I usually make it about 6 or 7 long, the pad itself. So there we go. And even though the pad doesn't seem that big, I've successfully ground down mining haulers with this pad, which is the super mining ship that shows up in games. Okay. Now we'll get some landing pads. And this only works with a station, by the way, because stations are the only one that won't move if you bump them. And the whole point of this is so that when you bump it, it doesn't float away, and you can kind of grind it down. Alright, let's get a cargo container. This is the whole reason this works so well. Get a cargo container here, and we'll just put it on the side. Now we'll move this ship into place. When I make it, I usually offset the landing pads left to right, or you can even move them farther away. It doesn't matter as long as the pads are on there and you have a lot. You know, you're going to want at least 6 pads, because when you have bigger ships you're going to want 3 or 4 mooring pads connected. Let's get into blue 2 here and lock it down. And I've done quite a bit of experimenting with different types of grinding ships, trying to set up, you know, a way to make an automated grinding system, and the best luck I've had is just doing it myself, whittling a ship down. It only takes about 20 minutes to do it that way. Ooh, she's big. Come on now. Get her on connected here. And it doesn't matter how you connect it, honestly, as long as you get a few pads on there, and then just be aware when you're grinding the ship down that you need to. There we go. We got about 4 of them right there. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you bump it a little bit, as long as you don't get too rough with it, because landing pads are easy to build. So if you ruin one, I mean, the materials you're going to get from this build is going to be substantially better than one landing pad's destruction. So we'll group these. Landing, locking. There we go. And then we'll lock these in place. So now they're locked in place. Let me go get the starter grinder, and then we'll bump into this a little bit, grind it up, and I'll show you how. And you can, if you're really hurting for uranium, you can actually take the uranium out of this thing now. You don't need engines anymore. Okay, let's get the grinders on. And this is just the starting ship grinder that they give you an easy start one. Alright, I'm going to hit this from the side, in the middle of space. Usually if you did this, it would go flying. bumping straight into it, full throttle on. Now, the only downside to this is you have to grind systematically. You have to grind in a way that you start eating away like you're eating corn. Because if you start cutting away straight, like if I went straight into this, it would cut this little bit off on the back. So I would suggest putting your pad away from your main structures. Because if you put your pad too close to structures, you can knock pieces off, and then they'll end up floating and hitting your other pieces, or you'll have a bunch of debris around. Because you can't, you know, if you have all this debris floating, you'll have to go and add artificial masses if you wanted to try to gravity generate them one place. Usually what I do, if I have a big piece that breaks off and I don't want to chase it down, I'll see, like this piece, right? So that piece broke off and it's not part of the structure anymore, and I don't feel like chasing this down and there's nothing off in here, I'll just float it. I'll just hit it. See you later, piece. And then that'll be gone, and I'll never have to worry about it again if it's something I don't need. Otherwise, I'll slowly grind it away. Alright, that's it. That's how you make a simple locking pad for grinding. If you have any questions, you can send me a message on YouTube, or go ahead and check out my stream on Twitch. I usually stream Space Engineers. Thanks for watching.